Good morning, everyone. In the previous class, we studied about some of the Britishers who were Orientalists. They supported the education in India by establishing madrasa and other Hindu colleges in order to teach the Indian people about Hindu mythology and Hindu textbooks and Islamic law, etc. So, not all the officials, some of them supported, but many other officials also opposed the way of the Orientalists, how the Indian education to be here. So from the early 19th century, many British officials began to criticize the Orientalists' vision of learning. That means the Britishers also, some of them in the 19th century also, they criticized how the English officials established the Indian education here. So they also felt that the knowledge of the East, that means the Asian and Indian knowledge or the textbooks which are here, these are all full of errors, full of mistakes and unscientific thought. So Eastern literature was not non-serious and light-hearted. It has of no use, and the Indian or the Asian books or knowledge has of all are useless. So they argued that it was wrong on the part of the British to spend much effort on the encouragement of the study of Arabic, Sanskrit and language and literature. So these people, that officials, English officials, opposed that. They argued that it is waste of time, waste of money to spend much effort on teaching or encouraging the Indian languages or Arabic or Sanskrit language and literature. So James Mill was such a kind of person who attacked the Orientalists. He was against the opinion of the Orientalists. James Mill was such a person. The British effort, he declared that should not be to teach what the natives wanted. Okay, so James Mill strictly opposed that what the Indians wanted is not to be taught here by the Britishers. Okay, or what they respected in order to please them and win the place in the heart. These are all the not worthy. That what the Indians want to be taught is not we have to teach. What we have to teach the Indians. So that is the concept he had. The aim of education ought to be teach what was useful and practical. So James Mill felt that what the Indians are learning now, their religion and tradition and customs, these are of useless, but what is useful and practical, that should be taught to the Indians. So Indians should be made familiar with the scientific and technical advances that the West has made. That Western countries or European countries are much advanced in science and technology, we know that. So that these should be taught in Indian schools also, instead of learning the poetry, sacred literature, that holy books or mythology of our ancient culture and traditions, not to be taught in India. Instead of that science and technology, more advanced science and technology of the Western countries to be taught in India, as that should be the curriculum of India. By the 1830s, the attacks on the Orientalists became more sharper. 1830 onwards, we one of the most outspoken and influential such critics of the time was Thomas Babington Macaulay. Another person who was in 1830 onwards strictly opposed the Orientalists, Thomas Babington Macaulay, and he saw that India an uncivilized country, uncultured, and it should be civilized or cultured or advanced. No branch of Eastern knowledge, according to him, could be compared with the England had produced. He had such an opinion that Indian knowledge or Eastern countries' knowledge is not at all worthy. We can never compare with the British knowledge or the Western countries' knowledge. He also declared Macaulay that if we are taking a single shelf of a good European library, one single shelf of the good European library, it has the worth that the whole native literature of the India and Arabia, the whole countries, Arabia's and the Indian, the literature or books, when we are comparing all together, we are comparing with the single shelf of the good European library, it is not equal also. So he urged that the British government in India stop wasting public money in promoting Oriental learning. For for it has no practical use also. There is no use of wasting money in India for the education of Oriental language. With this great energy and passion, Macaulay emphasized the need to teach English language. So Macaulay was strongly opposing the Indian type of learning, and he wanted to encourage the language of English here. He also felt that the knowledge of English would allow Indians to read some of the finest literature that would have produced. So when people of India get English knowledge, they will start learning the English books which was produced in the European countries or the Western countries, so that it would make them aware of the developments in the Western science and philosophy also. When the Indian people learn English, they will start reading the science and technology or philosophy, the books in the European countries. They will get such developments in their way of life also. The teaching of English could thus be the way of civilizing people. Okay, when English is taught here, it is the way educating people, civilizing the people, or teaching them manners and discipline, etc. This all will be changing their taste, values, culture, etc. So the people will be developed automatically. So that following the Macaulay's minute or the whatever the information he had given, the English Education Act in 1835 was introduced. Macaulay, because of these policies adopted by Thomas Macaulay, there also in India English Education Act was introduced in 1835. So this period, the decision was to make the English the medium of instruction for higher education. Vernacular languages can be taught in the primary levels, but for the higher education, English should be the medium of learning or teaching should be English also, and stop the promotion of Oriental institutions like the Calcutta Madrasa or Benares Sanskrit College, etc. So stop promoting these colleges. Instead of that, establish English medium schools, or English should be the medium of higher studies, etc. So these institutions were seen as the temples of darkness, like Calcutta Madrasa or Benares Sanskrit College. They were known as the temples of darkness, not giving any good education. These were the concept of the Britishers. They were also falling themselves into decay. English textbooks now began to be produced for the schools also. When this policy or this English Education Act was introduced in 1835, largely English textbooks were began to be produced in India and for the Indian schools also. Like that, English education began to be promoted in our country. Now tomorrow we will study more about the education for commerce and other subjects were taught by the Britishers. What promotion or Britishers gave to the Indian education in the coming future.